Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another 2024 election update. We've got huge stuff, a lot of polling data released today. The Fox News poll comes out last night. It immediately gets disproven. And today we've got a New York poll that's got Trump within single digits. You've got Minnesota polls coming out left and right that has Trump leading. Trump has said Minnesota is a swing state. He's made it one. We're going to talk about all of that. But first, let's take a look at this. And this is, I knew this was going to happen. I called this 2 years ago. The summer of 2024, this crap would creep up. It's literally trying to buy voters, and I can prove it. Well, you know what? Actually, I can't prove it because the little New York or DC, I think, intern that bragged that he got his student loans paid for by the government, he deleted his tweet or he privated his account. Let's see what happened here. Student loan relief contributing 27% jump in projected federal budget deficit. And so they're very desperate. And you'll see, well, actually you won't see because you can see you're unable to view the post because the kid who's like 27, 28 limited it. He got like $10,000 worth of student loans paid off. And if you look at the actual, because he showed a picture of it. He showed a picture of what he got in the mail. It was just a letter. And it says the Biden-Harris administration, it's like, hooray, the Biden-Harris administration has paid your student loans. They are literally trying to buy votes and they're causing the United States government more of a deficit. It's like Biden tapping into the emergency oil reserves to try and keep the gas prices down before the election. This is total crap and it's just unfortunate. And the whole idea of the government paying for your student loans, it never made any sense to me. These people go to college, they act like they're elite. They say, this is what they say over and over again. You go to college, you're going to make more money. And on average, that's true. So there it is. If you go to college, it's an investment. You're going to pay money to get in. You're going to pay money for that diploma. And then because you have the diploma, the degree, that gives you the opportunity to make more money later in life than someone that doesn't go to college. So you can pay off the investment you made into yourself with the degree. They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to be these elitist little kids and get better jobs and try and flex all of that. And then they want the working class to pay for all of their crap. You're the big dog. You're telling me you have all the money. Pay for your shit. They won't do it. And everyone sees through this, and it's just, they're trying to buy votes. They send out pamphlets and say $10,000 of your student loan is paid for. And this is not a little, this is a lot. 27% jump in federal budget deficit. This is a huge thing that, of course, nobody is going to be talking about. It's unfortunate. And the weasel little kid who's like a little squirm, like pudgy boy, skinny fat dude, he's like bragging about it, and he has to private his account because there were like at least 30 or 40 huge people that quote tweeted it. I guess they bullied him into privating it. And it's just all, they didn't even bully him. They just said, this is so ridiculous looking at this and seeing this letter. It's literally buying votes. It's very sad. We have this. This is a very good point. So Fox News released a poll that had Biden up 2, and apparently it's swung 538 now. People are coming out. There was a tweet that said Biden is up for the first time in terms of the general election. He's up by like 0.1. I'm going to get to it. It's when I scroll up a little bit more. That really doesn't matter whether Trump's up by 0.1, Biden's up by 0.1. As long as the general election popular vote is close, that's very good for Trump based on how he overperforms in terms of the polling averages during the general elections in 2016 and 2020. And on top of that, Trump could have very easily won in 2020 and lost the popular vote by 7 million because he was 40K votes away. If you look at all the 3 or 4 swing states that he needed to win to get the electoral votes over 268. So take a look at this. This is a total erroneous poll. Joe Biden winning rural voters 50 to 48%. That is just faulty data. And I think Fox News knows this. Fox News, goes back to 2016 when they didn't update their graphics package. And then in 2020, they call Arizona. This is an ongoing issue. So Fox News, they can have their poll. That's fine. But you can see that it's like they've released this data to say, all right, we got this one wrong. Rural voters, 50% for Biden. It's just one poll, but still, that is very, very bad. This is the major swath of polling that I wanted to talk about. Let's see this. Georgia, Trump up by 8. You're including everyone, RFK Jr., Stein, and West. Georgia, it's not a lock for Trump, but right now the betting's got him at like 75, 80% chance to win. Georgia, Minnesota, very close. I know there was another Minnesota poll that had Biden up by 6 or 7, but this one's got Trump up by 1. Michigan, it's going to be very close, but Trump's been leading a lot of the Michigan polls. He's up, I think, in terms of the average, like 2.5, and he's led like the last 7 of them. Pennsylvania, Trump up by 3. That's another state. Going to be very close, but Trump's been leading the polls consistently there. Wisconsin's been very close as well. Trump up by 2 there. And Nevada, Trump is up by 3 with Arizona. Trump up by 4. So right now, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, they're clearly shifted towards Trump. He's the favorite in all those states. He's a slight favorite in Pennsylvania. He's a slight favorite in Michigan. And he's a slight favorite in Wisconsin. He's a slight underdog in Minnesota. I will give Biden that, but still, those are just great numbers to even be, even be that close in Minnesota, a state he got crushed against Biden in 2020. You do have Trump also trailing Biden by just 8% in New York. Could it actually happen? Donald Trump in the same state, they got him with a felony charge at, 34 counts? Could he actually win that state? It's like crazy to think about. It is the ultimate irony. It would be beautiful to see it. It is the perfect political revenge. I know a lot of people have come out, conservatives, they've said they're going to imprison Trump on July 11th. I highly doubt that. I think they will give him house arrest and allow him to go to Mar-a-Lago. The problem, like everybody already knows, independents know, even liberals, a lot of them, that they tried to come out and argue and say it was fair what happened to Trump, getting hit with the felony charges, and just all of that's come out with Alvin Bragg, his prosecutors telling him there's nothing here. Alvin Bragg, basically says, I had a literal campaign promise to get this guy. This is a monkey kangaroo court. Just charge him, twist it. Yes, it's a misdemeanor, but you can elevate it if you do 5 different things. So the idea that Trump would go to prison for this just makes him even more of a martyr. They want to get Trump on house arrest so he can't do anything, but they also don't want him to be a martyr because the American people, I'd say about 65, 70% of them understand that this is totally ridiculous. He should not have a felony charge. And I think that's why they're going to hold off on the jail and maybe go with something like house arrest, because they want him off of the campaign trail, because we know Biden is not going to be able to campaign at his old age and just struggling to even get around. This is the New York poll I was referencing. Biden 47%, Trump 39%. Independents, Trump leads by 17. Let's take a look at the trends. June 2023, Biden was up by 22 in a poll. February 2024, Biden was up by 11. It's down to 8. And you can see the generic ballot, Democrats enjoying a plus 15 there. Independents, Republicans. So Trump is winning a lot of the independents in New York. He's not going to be able to overcome, or I should say he's probably not going to be able to overcome just how liberal New York is. Like, it would have to be a crazy shift. Now, there are conservative pockets in New York, even surrounding New York City. We saw that in the midterms. New York swung heavy conservative, even though the midterms didn't turn out well for Republicans, but I highly doubt Trump's going to win New York. You do have, for the first time in 2024, Biden leading Trump. This is just, it really doesn't matter. I mean, even when Trump was leading by 0.1 or 0.3 or whatever this was right here, the fact that Biden's gone ahead by 0.1 because of that Fox News poll, it doesn't matter. And I would say the same thing if Trump was up by 0.1. It's just, it's so close in terms of a margin, it really doesn't matter. Are you paying attention yet? Oh yeah, this is just crazy. If you actually search European people history, I thought this was a joke, and this doesn't show up, but it's something similar to this. It's just what happened. I mean, I guess we know what's happened to Google, but it's just like Google has just gotten so deranged, and it's only gotten worse. And even DuckDuckGo has the same crap as well when it comes to that. Oh yeah, this was a funny thing. This girl. Not to sound stupid, but can't we just print more money? Yes, if we print more money, apparently we've got the best economy ever. So she is right. She just gave, I think she said this probably in 2020, 2021 when Biden went to the office, and they must have taken her advice. So they took her advice and they printed more money, and now we have a record high stock market. Yes, it has come out that nobody can contribute to their retirement or their 401k. That was just released recently via a report, and that was admitted, but they say this economy is LeBron James in his prime, or what was it, Taylor Swift in her prime. Like, it's just so ridiculous. When you look at the inflation, it's now around 22, 23% since Biden took over, and you have to adjust the inflation. Trump needs to hit Biden on the inflation during the debate. There's no question about it. We do expect some surprises on Biden's physical performance at the upcoming debate. He's going to Camp David to prepare for I don't know if that's right, because somebody reported like a week ago he was going to go to Camp David for 7 days or something to prepare for the debate. That's ridiculous if that's true. Now, maybe it's false. Maybe it's just for the weekend. I don't know. I couldn't get, there were 2 reports, but he is going to Camp David to prepare for it. And CBS and all the networks are already coming out and saying that Biden is going to have a surprisingly better physical appearance. Everyone reported it during the State of the Union. He was very angry. He was very energetic. This is what I can say. Biden reportedly, it's come out that Biden wears adult diapers, all right? And so this is what we're dealing with. And apparently it was also reported that Trump had ordered the cognitive test. He ordered the drug test. Biden's refused both of them. Trump has had to bend over backwards to even get these debates. Biden has the audacity to gaslight Trump and say in a little video that had 27 cuts, Biden says, "I'll not only debate you once, but I'll debate you twice." Well, you know what the standard Democratic procedure is in terms of U.S. presidential debates? They have 3 presidential debates. Biden gaslights everyone saying, "Look at how of great condition I'm in. I'm not just going to debate you once. I'm going to do it twice." No, the standard is 3 times. And Trump wanted a 3rd debate with Fox News, but apparently Trump is just in the best shape of his life right now. He's training 1 to 2 hours in the morning. He's running. Liberal women have even come out and said he's very attractive, and he looks like 20, 30 years younger. It's making Biden nervous, and now obviously Biden's going to come out. They're worried about Biden. They get him hopped up on all this stuff. He's got a higher propensity to wet himself and shit himself. That's happened 4 or 5 times. It's been reported on video of him doing that. And so that's another concern for them, right? Because he wears the adult diapers. He gets all of the baby powder. The Secret Service is like, what are the 7 or 8 pallets of baby powder doing out, right outside of the White House? It's like, it's for Biden. He just ordered them off of Amazon. And then Biden's dog goes around the White House apparently biting 40 or 50 people. They have to delete the video. It's just, what is going on? What about the Axios report that nobody talks about back in April when Biden had a meltdown on Easter Sunday and apparently screamed at the top of his lungs at his advisors in the White House because his advisor said, "Listen, old man, you're losing every state. You need to do something." He lost it. He said the polls were fake. I have a video on that going back 3 or 4 months. He started screaming at his advisors, and Axios even came out and said it was a freak out. So this is just such an unstable, and then they go out and all of the student loans, they're trying to buy votes. Literally, they're trying to buy votes. They say on the letter, we've eliminated $3,000 of student loans, $10,000 of student loans, whatever it is. Biden-Harris administration. That's what it says. It's no good faith. We're just doing this because we like young kids. It's 3 months before the election. They know young kids never vote, and they're trying to buy votes. It's so obvious, and it's a huge investment, 27% in terms of upping the deficit. You can see Biden won 2020 with 23% in New York. In June, they're referencing the same polls. So New York is definitely turning. I don't think Trump's going to win New York, though. That would be crazy. And then we also have this, the migrant hotels, the amount of money that's being paid for these illegal immigrants because the infrastructure at our border is just so horrible because Biden reversed all of the Trump immigration policies. And now Biden comes out and he's like, well, the Republicans are the ones that won't pass the border security stuff. No, you guys said that Trump was a racist back in 2015 when he wanted a wall and to secure things. And he said, we need to stop the immigration until we know what the hell is going on. And guess what? In 2024, we're actually in a worse spot. Believe it or not, Obama was kind of a hard ass on immigration. He did deport a lot of people. They don't want to talk about that. So did Trump, both of them. And now Biden's just opened everything because you've got these radical far left people influencing the party and saying we need all these people, all the immigrants. It's an incentive. Let's get them legalized. And now the amnesty comes out to try and get all these illegals voting as soon as possible. This is so obvious. They're costing $6,000. They have to build them high-rise luxury apartments in California. It came out. I saw in a tweet. This is just out of control. They have to house these illegal immigrants somewhere. And of course, they're getting better care than a lot of homeless Americans that grew up and have lived in the United States all their life. This is not against people migrating here that we understand. This is a huge governing issue when it comes to Biden and the Democrats thinking that we can just la-di-da-di-do let anyone into the country because we feel bad. That creates this stuff where they have to turn hotels, take the signs off of the hotels and say, no, it's actually, that's what they did right here. There's this girl reporting on it. They take all the signs off the hotels, and now it's a migrant facility. They're building high-rise mansions for these illegal immigrants in California. And they're saying, oh, Gavin Newsom now is going to run and step in for Biden. It would be even worse if Newsom ran, if that is the case, because now there's a lot of rumors regarding that, depending on how Biden does during his debate. This is the big issue. The American people are not dumb enough to buy the Newsom bullshit in terms of the Democrats practically admitting Biden is done. He's got no chance of beating Trump. Let's try Newsom. And the American people are going to be like, wait a minute. Biden's been horrible for 4 years. You just think you can get away with it? And now we're going to vote for Newsom and say, we'll redo everything? They're not that stupid. They're not going to let the Democrats off the hook. If they do try and pull something with Newsom, the American people understand that you can't have horrible leadership to where Biden has the worst approval rating in the history of the United States. Maybe he has a horrible debate, and then they drag Newsom out and kick Biden off, and maybe he gets hospitalized, something like that. The American people are not going to say, oh, no, it's all good. Biden was terrible, but now Newsom, who's younger and more competent, is in charge. It's fine now. We'll vote for you. It's been horrible the last 4 years, and you've gaslit us, and you've told us the economy's great with the 25% inflation. Oh, yeah, it's fine. So, guys, that's really what's going on right now. And the polls, I would say, look pretty good for Trump outside of that Fox News poll, which I think was erroneous. And even Fox News, they're like, let's actually break down this poll. We do have to admit it's kind of ridiculous. 50% support, rural support for Biden. That's just not accurate. I'm sorry. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.